Hi, I'm Jenni Tooley, and I am on a mission to uncover how artists like myself make their lives work. I have stayed in the shadows. Today I'm talking with my friend Stormi Demerson. She's an actress, poet, spoken word artist, singer, and visual artist. Stormi recently left her corporate day job to pursue her artistic career full-time. We're meeting up in the dressing rooms at Samuell Grand Amphitheater, located in beautiful southeast Dallas. Samuell Grand Amphitheater is home to Shakespeare Dallas, Dallas's only outdoor classical theater. They perform here every summer to over 30,000 people of all ages.
Call it.
Stormi, take one, Baker Cam.
I'm so excited to be here with you today, Stormi.
I'm excited too, Jenny. I've been waiting for this. This is wonderful.
We are down in the bunker of Shakespeare Dallas's, what are we calling this? Well, we're at Samuell Grand Amphitheater, where Shakespeare Dallas does most of their work. And we're in the bunker where all the dressing rooms, and I think you've spent some time down here.
I have. I did Pericles with Shakespeare Dallas. I think it was 2013, I think. 2013, 2014. Yeah, it was an amazing time.
How was it working outside in the heat?
Well, you know, it wasn't that bad. You know, the worst part of it was the rehearsal before, you know, the show goes up, and it was like 30 minutes. But there's a nice cool breeze afterward, and so it was really beautiful. I'm a country girl, so I love being outside.
How was that opportunity? How did that opportunity come to you?
Well, I worked on Diamond Dick, the Tulsa race rides of 1921 with Raphael, and that's how I met him. And then I auditioned for Pericles after that, and so that's how I got connected with Raphael and Shakespeare Dallas.
Is that how your acting career has formed itself, is by working with one person and then the next they see how awesome you are?
Well, I don't know about awesome, but yes, it kind of works like in a contagion like that. You know, you build relationships and one project leads to the next project, and a lot of people, it's a small circle, the community is, you know, pretty tightly knit, and so yeah, you get connected that way.
How long have you been in Dallas?
Since, about 17 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this isn't where you started out?
No. Well, I'm from Texarkana.
Okay.
So I went to school in Fort Worth at TCU. And once I graduated, I just stayed here. I stayed in the Metroplex, so yeah.
How did you decide to stay in the Metroplex?
I didn't want to go back. I love East Texas, but I just knew that there was something else for me, and it wasn't there. I couldn't be who I needed to be, and I couldn't, you know, further my career.
Who did you want to be?
I wanted to be actually a voiceover actress. I wanted to be a voiceover actress, and I was particularly interested in animation and, you know, and stage, you know, because I did performance at TCU, but I just wanted to see what else was there, you know. What else? I mean, there were no theaters in Texarkana. Well, there was one. I take that back, but I needed to see what else was out there. And so when I first moved to Dallas, I didn't know anything about anything. I'd never seen a transit system. I didn't know how to ride the bus.
So you were moving to the big city.
Oh,
like it was a whole cultural difference.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes, yeah. So it's the first time I'd seen a train, and
So the voiceover actress. So you had this idea that you're going to. Most people do not start with, I was going to be a voiceover actor.
Well, you know, that's how I got into theater, really. And when I was in Texarkana, they didn't have a program. They didn't have a voiceover program I started in junior college. But, and so I started taking theater classes, and I was like, oh, that fits, you know. But it never really left my mind, you know, that I wanted to do voiceover work. So
where did that start?
It started in high school. I used to do poetry and terp. I did it for French and in my English classes, and so that's where it started.
And were you listening? Like when a commercial comes on, I don't know if this is still in your life right now, but if a commercial comes on, are you listening and seeing how it's patterned and breaking it down?
Not really. I don't really get that technical. I just love sounds, and I love voices, and I love, you know, the colors that voices can make, and it's so interesting to me. I mean, how you can just change a mood or create a mood, you know, and affect somebody with your voice.
That shifts into your poetry.
It does.
Yeah.
It does, yes.
Tell me about that.
I've been a spoken, I guess, what is the technical term now, the PC term? A spoken word artist for some time, but I've written for years since I was a kid. But yeah, I do spoken word poetry at different events, and yeah, and so I get to express myself that way.
Do you find the events yourself, or people asking you to come to them?
A little of both. I mean, now it's more people invite me to speak or, you know, to perform. And I think my last event was at the W Hotel. It was a couple years ago. Yeah, did a feature there, so that was exciting.
Do you write for the event, or do you bring things that are already existing?
A little of both. So sometimes it depends on what the event is. So if it's I personalize it if it is for a wedding or if it's for, you know, someone's special occasion, a birthday or something like that, then I do write something catered to that event. So.
Okay, so you said weddings. That's interesting. Are they weddings of people you know, or do people actually call you and be like, you know, I want you to come to my wedding?
They do. They do.
Interesting.
Yeah. So weddings, I have sung and performed at funerals. I mean, it just whatever the event is, and yeah, I try to make it personal for them because it's their memory, and memories are so very important to me.
They are important. Is that one of the key elements in your work, do you think, is memories? What drives your work?
Wanting to, that memories is one, and just wanting to just affect change. You know, I think that it's really important as an artist that I do my part to affect change, and that's kind of my little, you know, my goal, you know, to affect someone's life. You know, I don't, if I'm not doing that, then what am I doing? It's not for me.
Right?
Yeah.
Is it personal change or social change? I know for me, it's let it begin with me. I for a long time, I was like, I have to change the world. It has to be so huge. And that was completely unmanageable.
Yeah.
And then I started to understand if I change myself and how I exist in the world, then that flows out.
Absolutely, absolutely begins at home. And so, yeah, it's to affect the world, but I have learned that I kind of went through the same thing. It had to start with me because it was too much, you know. It's like I can't make things happen, you know, and you know, things would get to my heart, and I'm like, I can't, you know. So I have to take what I can on my level, and then if I can affect, you know, my friend or, you know, my colleague, you know, myself, you know, if I can change my behavior in some way that's going to, you know, alter the course of my life in a positive way, then I've done my job.
As far as being, and so you're like me, you have multi-level artists, lots of different things that you enjoy doing. Is there one that you consider to be your profession? And that's such a hard word to like, what is my career? What is my profession?
It's so hard when you're an artist.
And there doesn't have to be an answer to that.
Well, I would consider acting my profession because it's you know, how I make my living for the most, you know, part. And so yeah, acting, but I'm a painter, I sketch, I'm a visual artist, so but yeah, mostly acting. And I sell some of my work, but yeah.
So as far as supporting yourself, do you feel like you support your art? Do you have something else that you do on the side that helps to support your art, or do you feel like your art solely supports you?
Well, it is so interesting you asked
Oh,
that.
good.
Because I was in corporate America for 17 years almost, since I've been in Dallas. And just recently, I've made a change. I'm a full-time artist now by way of a layoff, but I think it was the best thing that could have happened to me because it kind of pushed me and ushered me into my purpose, I think. So.
Oh, I want to hear more.
That was exciting.
Tell me more about it.
It's really exciting. And since I've been a full-time artist for all of 2.5 months, I mean, the work has been coming in, and it just reassures me that I made the right decision, because I could have chosen to go back into corporate, but it just did not feel right. And I think I would have regretted it in a very big way.
Was there a period of time where you were fighting that it doesn't feel right, but I'm going to keep doing it because my head's telling me I need to keep doing it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because, I mean, you get comfortable, you know, and it's easy to, you know, depend on a steady paycheck. And with, you know, being an artist full time, you know, you have to really manage that. And when the work comes in and when you know, manage your finances and make sure that things stay lucrative enough that it's not a burden to you, so that you still want to be an artist.
Right.
Right. So, but it's new, but I think that with, focus and concentration and just not thinking that I have to have everything solved at once, and that I have to hop on every project. And it's very important to choose the right projects so that I feel fulfilled and that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and the opportunities and the income will come, I believe. So
I went through a period when I was younger of that. I think it happens to most actors. It's that desperation, urgency. I have to get the next one. I have to. So we never say no to anything.
Yeah.
And it took me a long time to figure out it was okay to say no.
Yeah.
And that it wasn't going to end my life, or no one was going to come and.
Yeah.
So did you have anything like that happen for you I'm thinking back over a period of time, because you've got some time there.
Yeah. I've had some situations where I had to make a decision of, should I go with this project or not? What would be the best thing for me? And in the moment, there have been times I said no, and it turned out that I really didn't need to be a part of that project for whatever reason. Hearing about different people having personality conflicts and just things that go along with working, whatever field you're in. And I just learned that to trust my instincts and to follow those and know that it's okay. Even if I don't know the answer on the other side, which oftentimes I don't, it's okay. Just if I trust my instincts and go, it'll be okay. It'll be all right.
That has been one of the scariest things for me, is to trust myself. And I abandoned myself for so long that now I really have a hard time trusting me, because I constantly was leaving myself and following other people's.
Sense, yeah.
So it's been, I think, about 5 years now that I've been practicing trusting myself and discovering, hey, I'm actually, an intelligent human being and can make good decisions. And
absolutely. And doesn't it feel good?
It does.
It does. And you're in control of yourself, and it's great. And that every decision that you make, you have no regrets because you've thought through the process, and you completely own your decision. So
that, and I would go out. I'm a natural chameleon, so I'm really good at going out and being whatever you need me to be.
Right.
And it took me a long time and several people going, hey, have you ever considered just being yourself and attracting people to you? And I was like, really? I don't know. It took me years to be like, well, maybe that would be okay just to be me, and that the people would come to me instead of me going out and trying to be something for them.
I needed to hear that because I went through that too, and I think I'm struggling now just to say, okay, I'm dealing with the duality of having left something that was so secure in my corporate professional career, and then now all the scrims are gone, and so it's just me. And okay, I get to be an artist now. What are you gonna do?
Right,
right. So.
And what I've learned over talking to a number of ladies over the last few days, actually all of them have some kind of skill set that's administrative, organizational, money, that supports them as an artist. I for a long time I kept thinking, I'm an artist, so I'm flaky, and I really somehow bought into this, and it turns out I'm not.
Yeah.
Or I wouldn't be able to produce things.
Exactly. You amaze me, Jenni. Let me just say that. You amaze me at all the things you can do, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Thank you.
And the cookies.
And you're waiting for the cookies.
And the
She's
cookies.
like,
I'm just
okay,
waiting for
let's
the
eat the cookies. So I asked for people's favorite cookies or things that reminded them of things, and you said ginger snaps.
Ginger snaps.
So I baked you some ginger snaps.
Perfect.
I couldn't believe they came out of the oven looking like that.
They're colossal and they're perfect. Oh my gosh.
So please feel free to have a ginger snap.
Thank you.
Why did you choose ginger snaps?
They remind me of my grandmother. They're the closest thing I could think of to molasses. And my grandmother loved molasses cookies.
All right, anytime you need a little grandmother hit, come to me.
Thank you.
I'll find
really,
something
really good.
Good. So let's see, what else are we going to talk about today? How you're an actor and a poet. Has being a woman affected you in any form in those areas?
It has. It has in different ways in each. So with poetry, when I first started performing, it really was a male-dominated scene, at least here.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I would go to open mics, and there were some women that would perform, and they were really very, very good. But it's predominantly a male, genre, it's, at least here. And so I felt the need to write pieces that were, more powerful in what I thought was more powerful, and make political, poems, and I was writing what came from my heart at the time, but I also thought that maybe I needed to speak harder or, have a certain presence when I was at the mic. And then I realized that anything that I said that came from my heart was just as powerful as any man that was there, whether I was talking about love, whether I was talking about East Texas, whether I was talking about anything political, anything, as long as it's true to who you are, then that's power. So, yeah.
Oh, and Stuck. Was that your first film?
It was.
Oh, I got so lucky.
It was. I got so lucky. I got so lucky. I really enjoyed working on the project. Everybody was so, warm and welcoming and talented. And so thank you for my first film.
Of course. And, the role was a policeman, and I always thought it was going to be man. And Laurel was like, she was like, I think you need to see Stormi Demerson. I was like, okay. The men could not say the lines that I had written in the way that they needed to be said, but it came out of your mouth just right, and I think it's because you're a woman.
Thank you. Team woman.